beautiful people, what is up? Hopefully my mic's working. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another stream. So these afternoon streams, I'm not gonna lie, they've been really good. They have been really good. Um, I was always trying to do streams either in the morning when I first woke up or at night, and I wasn't really sure. And then we tried, like afternoon my time, and they've been really popular. So maybe, just maybe, if it goes that way, we might start doing streams during this time. I mean, that just might be what we go for. Let's see who got first in chat today. Mike, what's up, dude? Mike getting first in chat. What's up, Ghost? So close, dude. So close. What's up, A? What's good, beautiful person? What's up, Ghost? How you doing, man? Welcome. Yeah, NS inspired. NS inspired. That's my boy. All right, that's my boy. He's he's struggling. We've all struggled. We've all been there, right? So, and he makes a good point. To be fair, he makes a good point. Inner focused, is that a problem? Inner focused, is that something we should be worried about? Being inner focused during recovery, is that something we need to actively try to change? Is there something that we need to actively be trying to do about that? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So, NS, that's my boy, and he actually makes a good point, right? He actually makes a good point. That is a good question. So we're going to talk about that today. What's up, Miller? Welcome. Sanchez, what's up, dude? How you doing, Miller? Dude, what's up? How was Mike first after me? He typed. I don't know. I don't know how people get first. I really don't. I really don't know how people get first so quickly. Like, I'll get somebody that comes in and they're like, first, they type first, and they're like seventh, eighth in chat, and they're like, I don't know how that happened. As soon as you went live, I clicked on, I typed first, and I'm eighth. So I don't, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. What's up, Olivia? Welcome. He asked great questions, though. I mean, they are good questions. They're good questions. So we're going to address that today. That's something I would like to talk about. Not a bad idea. Take your second and shut up. Take your second and shut up, Ghost. That's what Mike says. I was watching your old videos and then I went live. Good timing. What's up, Perp? Welcome, dude. Welcome. So, for those of you who weren't here yesterday, you'll notice something a little bit different about the stream. We don't have so much going on. That was like too much. I feel like that was too much. So, I dumbed it down a little bit. Now we just got spooky pumpkins, and I think that works. Oh, and we got the dab and skeleton too while we're at it. First, JK, what's up, PJ? What's up, dude? It's just YouTube being YouTube. Yeah, that's what it is. It's YouTube being YouTube. You would assume, right? One would assume it would be the right thing to assume that if you click the notification bell, that everybody gets notifications at the same time, right? Like that's just how it should be. However, I've noticed that the notification bell sometimes just doesn't notify certain people. Other times it notifies people as soon as we get going, as soon as we start, and then other times it doesn't notify people until 15, 20 minutes later, or even an hour later. So I have no clue. I have no clue what's going on with that. Maybe it has something to do with their settings. I don't know. I don't know. Well, my phone says I'm first, Ghost. That's what matters. I've got first a few times. Sometimes YouTube is a bit slow to notify us. Yeah, and it might not be just YouTube. It could actually be like a phone thing, some sort of notification issue. I don't know. I really don't know. Don't forget the $69 tip goal. I'm gonna leave it at 50, and if you guys take it to 69, that's on you. That's on you, chat. All right. How you doing, Sanchez? It's good to see you, dude. Yeah, and then other times you could be watching the stream and you just get cut off. By the way, if that happens to you, because I know that happens, and I still don't know why that happens. I wish I did. But if that does happen to you, just refresh. Refresh the stream, close it out, bring it back up. You'll be right back. Right? You'll be right back to it. It's not on my end. It's not the stream crashing. It's not on my end. I don't know why that happens. So if it happens to you, just close it, pull it back up. You'll be back. It happens, Ellis. We're gonna talk about things today. We're gonna talk about some things today. Maybe help you get back on track. I hate intrusive thoughts. Well, let's change that attitude a little bit. Let's change that attitude around a little bit. Right? That does not sound like the attitude we want. All right. Let's work on it. All right. So let's see here, guys. Today, Today, we're going to be talking about being inner focused, looking inward. Anxiety recovery is being inner focused wrong. That is what we're going to be talking about. Chat, let's see. Let's see. Chat is pretty much full, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started. So, being inner focused, focusing inward. Is this a problem? Is this a problem? We've been talking about it a lot here on the Discord recently. We've been talking about it a lot. So, some people whose names I will not mention. That actually scared the shit out of me. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Maddie. We'll address that in a second. So, some people, we talk about being inner focused, right? Some people on the Discord are concerned about it. Is being inner focused a bad thing? So, first and foremost, before we even talk about this, we need to understand what being inner focused is. We need to understand what that even means. What is it? What is being inner focused? It's when you're having all these thoughts and you're having all these feelings. It's mostly a thought situation because you're in your head. It's when you're having all these thoughts and you're having all your feelings and you're in your head observing them. You are aware of them. You are hyper aware of them. You realize every little thing that's going on. So you get one thought 1 second, you get another thought the next second. You're super aware of what's going on. This is what it means to be inward. You're not so focused on what's around you, right? You're more focused on the thoughts that are going through your own head. So every thought that comes in, boom, your attention is there. Your attention is there. And that's what it means to be really focused inward on everything that's going on, right? Your thoughts and your feelings. Now, since we know what it is, that brings us to the question of today. Is that a bad thing? Is that a bad thing? Are you not going to make progress if you do that? Is it hurting you, right? Is it causing you to fall behind in recovery? We're lagging for a second. Just give it a second. It should clear up. Is that causing you to fall behind in recovery? Is that hurting your recovery? The answer to that question might surprise you, because the answer to that question, in my humble opinion, is no. No, it's not hurting your recovery. It's not keeping you from recovery. But here's what will. Here's what will hurt your recovery. Here's what will keep you from recovering, right? Not so much being inner focused, but what you do with that. All right, let me say that again. So here's what will hurt your recovery. Not so much the fact that you are super aware of what's going on up here with all these intrusive thoughts. Not so much that you are super aware of all the anxious feelings that you're feeling. That's not what's going to hurt you. What's going to hurt you is what you do with that focus, right? And so some people might say, oh, well, my God, that he's about to say that I need to quickly focus on something else. No, that's not what I'm about to say. What I'm about to say is this. If you are super aware, super inner focused of your thoughts and feelings, right? As long as you are not adding second fear. What is second fear? Worry. That's the thinking, right? Worry. That's the thinking. You can be focused and you can be aware that you're having a ton of negative intrusive thoughts. You can be aware that you're having a ton of anxious symptoms. You cannot have all the concentration in the world, right? It can be hard for you to concentrate, and it probably will be hard for you to concentrate right now. All of that is okay, as long as you are not adding second fear. So, for example, you've got acceptance. There's a certain kind of recovery out there. It's called ERP, right? Response prevention. It's the same thing as acceptance. It's the same thing as acceptance. What do they tell you to do? They tell you that when you have these thoughts, you just basically take the aggressive approach and you say, yeah, I hope that does happen. And you allow yourself to feel it. And you allow yourself to say, yeah, that's bad thing might happen. Good, I hope it does, right? It's all the same shit. You can be extremely aware that these thoughts are happening as long as you have an attitude of acceptance. You can be extremely aware that these feelings are happening as long as you have an attitude of acceptance. You can be extremely aware that all of this is going on as long as you have an attitude of acceptance. Now, I know that the two main keys are stop fighting with it all and live your life. So some people say, well, you're telling me now that it's okay to be extremely inner focused at first, right? But then you're telling me to live my life too. That can't happen. Yes, it can. You can multitask, right? You can be extremely inner focused. You can be extremely aware of every thought that pops in your head. You can be extremely aware of every anxious feeling that you have while you do the dishes, right? You can be extremely inner focused with, I'm aware of every little piercing thought that pops into my head, every intrusive thought. I'm really aware of every feeling that I'm having, Wonder Bro. It's like all day long, I'm just very inner, right? I'm just very inner. I'm very focused on everything that's going on here. That's fine. You could still live your life in the process of that, right? So a lot of people think they can't have, they can't do one and the other. You can do one and the other. You can be a very aware of every thought that pops in your head and very aware of every feeling that you experience while you live your life. Being aware, or what some people call inward focused, is not a problem as long as there's not being gas thrown on the fire. So a lot of people get super frustrated. They're like, okay, when I have these thoughts and feelings, I'm very aware of them. I really need to readjust, and very quickly I need to try to forget about it, forget about it, move on, move on. All of this frustration and stress of trying to do this, right? All of this frustration and stress of trying to do this is doing nothing but stressing you out, and it's stressing your nerves out, right? So at that point, if you are doing that, it's safe to say that you are overcomplicating the advice way more than it needs to be. If you're doing that, it's safe to say that you're still very much overthinking this thing, right? So it's not so much Wonder Bro, okay, I'm inner focused, I need to not be that way. How do I fix that? Once you go down that rabbit hole, you're just going to be worried, worried, worried. So what about if we just said, okay, it's fine that I am super aware of every thought that I have. It's fine that I'm super aware of every feeling that I have, as long as I'm not gassing the fire. This is all fine. It's fine that I walk around all day and I'm very aware of every single thought that comes. I'm very focused. I see very clearly every thought that pops up. All of that's fine. There's no problem with that. In fact, you're probably going to be very inward at first. I know I was. I know I was extremely aware, hyper aware of everything going on in my body and mind. I know I was. That naturally will fall off in time, though. Okay, so that's another big point that I wanted to mention today. That will naturally fall off in time. That's not something you have to force. That's not something you have to make it a point to force every single day. I need to force myself to live more outerly. Understand that if you're following the advice, if you're just allowing these thoughts and feelings to be, even if you're super aware of them and you're living your life, you can multitask, you can do both. If you're doing that, you're speaking the language of the brain. The brain's going to learn this danger isn't real. It's going to set this alarm lower and lower, lower, right? And then that'll take care of itself. Being so interested in what's going on in your body and mind and being so focused on what's going on in your body and mind, that'll naturally wear off as you heal, because as you heal, the attention naturally, key word here is naturally, will start to go back out into life again. So, for example, when I first got to the point where I was like, okay, I know what I need to do. Let's do it. Let's dedicate to this thing. When I got to that point in my life and my recovery and I started to really put in that work with acceptance, of course I was very inward focused. Of course, every single day I was very aware of the thoughts I was having. I was very aware of the feelings I was having. I think that's a gimme at this point. Right? I think that's just a gimme at this point. You're going to be inner focused. And now a lot of people, the reason they have this question to begin with is a lot of people will read online, oh, you shouldn't be so inner focused, you need to refocus and blah blah blah. This will happen naturally. That's not so much something you got to force. You use the two keys. You stop gassing these thoughts and feelings even if you are very focused on them, right? As long as you're not gassing them and you're just doing your best to live your life, even if you are very aware of all these things going on, if you're not adding the gas, aka the worry, aka the second fear, it's all the same. If you're not doing that and you're just living your life, you're going to heal. You're going to naturally heal. And as a consequence of healing, you're going to naturally become less inward focused. And it's going to be easier for you to come back out. So as long as you're using the two keys, don't go around thinking, oh, I guess Wonder Bro forgot a key. He should add a third key that says, try to work on being inward focused. No, guys, I didn't miss anything. Right? I didn't miss anything. If that was important, it would be there. If that was important, we would have three keys and not two. But I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, okay? So you use the two keys, and whether you're hyper focused on the way that you feel or the thoughts you're having or whatever, as long as you keep doing your best to use the two keys, don't fight with the thoughts and feelings, even if you are hyper aware of them, and live your life. And as a consequence of healing, you'll automatically start to become more interested in the real world. You'll automatically start to become more outward focused, right? So, another little important thing to mention, just so I can make sure that you get what I'm saying, right? I want to make sure I'm being clear. Another little important thing to mention, right, is that when you read stuff online about how important it is to be outward and not so inner focused and all this, you got to understand these people are not speaking to sensitized people. Let's say that again. You got to understand when you read these articles, right, by the soccer moms and whoever else, these people are not speaking to sensitized people. When they write these blog posts about how important it is to be outward focused, they're not talking to sensitized people. They're talking to your everyday average Joe who's just got some little bit of anxiety going on in his life, right? That's who they're talking to. They're not addressing you as a sensitized person, guys. They're not addressing you as a person who's got a tired nervous system. They're just addressing your average Joe and trying to give them tips on how it's good if you focus on more on what's around you and, you know, come into life and, and all that's great. That's all good stuff. It's true. You should, as you heal, start to become more involved in life again and stuff. But this will happen naturally as a consequence of recovery. You are a sensitized person. You're a person who's got a tired nervous system. They're not addressing you when they give you these little tips about how good it is to be outward focused and focus more on your surroundings and all this good stuff. Yeah, that's all great. That's all great. That's good stuff. We'll practice that later once we heal, but understand that the fact that you're so inner focused right now is going to happen as a result of being sensitized. All these blog posts are not talking to you. They're talking to people that don't have tired nervous systems, that just have a little bit of anxiety, and they need to learn skills like being more present. That's all good stuff. You can practice that in time if you would like, right? But right now, who gives a shit if you're inner focused, right? As long as you're following the keys and you're not gassing that shit up anymore, as long as you're following the keys and you're not adding all that nasty second fear anymore, you're going to heal naturally. And as a result of healing, you'll become naturally, I keep saying that word, it's so important, you'll become naturally more outward focused. But as it stands right now, we'll worry, you know, we'll worry later about building your present moment skills and stuff like that. That's all good stuff. That's all very good stuff, and I've talked about it before on the channel, right? But right now, let's not overcomplicate it. Can we agree on that? Right now, though, let's not overcomplicate it. If you're inner focused, you're inner focused. Right now, let's build acceptance. We'll worry about all the details later. Right now, let's get you out of the tired nervous system, right? And like I said, I've talked about all this stuff before on the channel, but let's rope it back in. Let's make it super simple for you instead. Let's go that way instead, right? Let's get you out of the tired nervous system, and we'll worry about all, I want to practice this or I want to practice that later. For right now, let's keep it simple. So what if you're inner focused? So what if you're hyper aware of every thought and feeling that you have? Just stick to the two keys, right? And as a consequence of healing, you will naturally become more outward, right? As a consequence of healing, you will naturally become more outward. Just because you're aware, super hyper aware of your thoughts and feelings, that's not necessarily a problem unless you are adding a bunch of fear, a second fear, aka worry. If you're doing that, that's a problem. If you're not doing that, but you're just super aware of your thoughts and feelings, but you're using the two main keys, you're good. You're on track. Naturally, as a consequence of healing, you will become more outward, right? Right? So let's keep it super simple. It's not so much a problem that you're hyper aware of all of your thoughts and feelings, unless you add a ton of second fear, aka worry, right? Then that's a bit of an issue. But being hyper aware of all your thoughts and feelings itself is not so much a problem. that's not so much a problem. And as you heal, these things will naturally take care of themselves. All right. So that was my main point of today's stream. I know a lot of people tend to overcomplicate this thing, right? That's what people do. I know the sensitized, tired mind tends to investigate this way too deeply, make it way more complicated than it needs to be. I get all that, right? And that's why when I see a topic that is popular in the Discord or whatever the case may be, that's why I want to address it so that you can stop the investigation and we can get you back to healing, right? Because all this investigation, quite frankly, just to put it bluntly, it's making you sick. It's making you sick with worry. Sick as in tired. Tired as in tired nerves, right? So when I see a popular topic like this kind of floating around, I want to very quickly stomp it out because we really don't have any room to be, to spare, to be worried over these minor details. We really don't have any room in your recovery to spend too much time doing this investigation. We need to address this so we can move on, right? So, with that being said, I hope everyone enjoyed that. If you did, make sure you leave a like. It really does help the channel grow. We are going to read some comments. Also, Maddie, thank you so much for the $10 tip. I was like mid rant, so I didn't add that. Now we are. So there we go. I can't type today apparently. Thank you so much, Maddie. I appreciate you. 45-day streak, absolutely insane. Let's get some music going, guys. Shall we? What are we in the mood for today? Not that we have a big selection anyway, but let's see. We'll get something going. There we go. All right. All right, guys. We're going to switch on over to the post stream. Where is it at? And we're going to read some chats and see what you guys are up to. Exactly, Mint. You got it. You got it. Mint said, very interesting, because I really thought the hyper-awareness was something I was supposed to take charge of, but it hasn't worked. It just became a fight, and it always will just become a fight because you're trying to force something to change, right? So we don't try to force thoughts to change, right? We don't try to force feelings to change, right? You know the advice. Should we try to force being inner focused or hyper aware? Should we try to force that to change? You guys know that force equals resistance and that resistance equals stress, right? So instead of trying to force anything, which is the opposite of what we do here, right? Instead of trying to force anything, you just need to realize that as long as you're not adding fuel to the fire, as long as you're not fighting with these thoughts and feelings, aka adding the worry, and you're living your life, the two main keys, everything's going to happen very naturally. You're going to start to become more interested in life naturally, right? Because you're going to heal. You're going to heal as a result of the two main keys. So we don't want to try to force anything. If we try to force anything, you know it's always going to end up in a fight. You know that, right? And like I said, we've talked in the past about how, it's a great practice to try to be more present and all this, that, and the other. But let's make it more simple. Let's make it more simple. We'll talk about all that stuff later. For now, let's get your nerves healed. For now, let's get your nerves healed. So, if you're going to take all of those practices, which 99% of the time you will, and turn those into a fight, let's not do that. Let's just put it to you very simply. You're having the thoughts that you're having the feelings that you have. Not a problem unless you start adding that worry, right? So if all these other things were that important, they would be included with the two main keys, right? We would have 3 main keys or 4 main keys, right? Now we might talk about all this other stuff. We might talk about all this other stuff from time to time, but if anything was truly very important to your healing, we would have more than 2 main keys. I would have mentioned them. I would have put them up there. We'd have 3 main keys, 4 main keys, 5 main keys. I only wanted to include the absolute fundamentals, right? Which is stop fighting with the thoughts and feelings, live your life. This is going to lead to healing, right? Otherwise, I would have included it with the keys. I wouldn't just talk about it casually in a live stream. I would have included it with the keys. Two Toes, thank you, dude, for the $5 tip. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for that. It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer. Yeah, so I know that we talk about a lot of different topics here on the channel, right? We do. Sometimes we got to make things interesting, got to mix things up, and nothing's wrong with this stuff, you know, being present and all that good stuff. But let's keep it simple. Let's keep it simple. Let's focus on our two keys today. They're there for a reason, and there's two of them for a reason. There's not three of them, there's not four of them, there's two of them. So let's focus on doing those two things, not so worried about everything else, right? That's the thing about like anxiety in general. No matter how simple you make it, there's still plenty of room for people to overcomplicate it. So that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for, to kind of pull you back in and say, oh, okay, well, you're really overthinking this thing, right? You're really overthinking this thing, which is what puts you in the sensitized boat to begin with, right? One, two. Hey, thank you again, Maddie. Thank you again, Two Toes. I appreciate you, dude. Thank you, thank you. You guys are awesome. The afternoon streams are really going well. So I think they're going to become the new norm. We'll see. We'll see. I can help you out. Alright, where are we at? 59 to go. Sanchez wants to take us to 69. Let's see. What's your advice on a family member that don't help on your recovery and just makes your life harder? Nothing is enough for them, and I never heard my father say to me that he's proud, or he always finds a problem. Very common. So, you know, we can't wait for the perfect living situation or living conditions in order to make progress, right? Because unfortunately for most of us, those perfect conditions just don't exist. And sometimes we do have family members that act or behave a certain way that makes it a little bit more difficult on us, right? But guess what? The advice doesn't change. The advice doesn't change under any circumstance or any condition. You can absolutely still work on yourself. You can absolutely still make progress. And when your mind wants to latches to, oh, this would be so much easier if this was going right or this was going right, don't follow that, right? Don't fuel that for longer than need be. You can absolutely make as much progress as you would like under any circumstance or condition, right, that you'll probably find yourself in. So don't allow your mind to latch onto that and give you reasons as to why you can't work on yourself, right? Don't allow that to happen. Hey, that's awesome, Truth. Congrats. That's the attitude to have. You got it. Awesome, awesome. I can help you out. Hey, what's up, Craig? Welcome. Hey, what's up, Z? How you doing, dude? Hope you're doing good. This is the latest time that you can catch lives. Yeah, it seems to be a pretty popular time to stream. It seems to work for most people, so I don't know. It's been going really well the past 3 or 4 days. We've done streams around this time. I'm at work in my office looking busy. Try to look busy, Sanchez. Don't look obvious. Just look busy. Don't make it obvious. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream, Mike. I used to catch myself a lot focused on my sensation and used to stress it because I thought we had to focus outward. You know, like I said, we've talked about being present. We've talked about living in the present. You know, we've talked about these things in the past. But as far as getting out of that sensitized place, let's not worry about building these habits. Well, you know, we'll worry about that stuff later. Follow the two keys. We'll get you healed. We'll get your nervous system doing a lot better than it's currently doing. And then if you want to work on these other practices in the future, fine. But for right now, we got 2 keys for a reason, right? If that was so important, we'd have 3 keys. If that was so important, we'd have 4 keys. I didn't miss anything. I didn't miss anything when I come up with the keys. I included everything that was fundamental to your recovery, right? So it's super easy to overcomplicate it, and I know that. That's why I've always tried to make it as simple as possible, because I know that. But I understand that no matter how simple I make it, it's still very easy to overcomplicate it when you're in that anxious place, and that's why we do streams like this. That's why we address questions. That's why we answer questions that are floating around on the Discord for too long, right? I have to get back in my garage. So much to do. Love you all. Listen closely. Thank you so much, Truth. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Hope you have a great day. Doing great, man. Come a far way. I love to hear it, dude. That's what it's all about, Z. That's what it's all about. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's see here. Did any comments get held today? If I miss anything? I think we're okay. Stop this gravity. Sanchez keeping the Halloween spirit alive. Favorite time of year. It feels great here today. I've been outside most of the day. It feels great. I'm in the garage running the sanding machine, gonna make a greenhouse. That's awesome, Mitt. Like to hear it. Every time I think something, anxiety latches on. Even things make me happy, which makes me for no reason doubt the very thing that makes me happy and turns to the opposite with false feelings. So again, non-judgment, right? Non-judgment, non-resistance, flowing with, not judging, right? Not adding fuel to. I accept the way I feel. I accept the thoughts I have. I get on with life. Wonder Bro, when I started my recovery with acceptance, man, that first month was hell for me. Anxiety was amplified to 100%, but the acceptance started to work. That's awesome, Sanchez. Keep it up, dude. Keep it up, man. You're on the right track. We just need to keep you going in the right direction. I always feel real lightheaded. That scares me. Half awake all the time, like I might pass out. Craig, didn't we DM about that? Didn't we talk about that on stream? And you told me that you eat like a single hot dog a day or something, dude. You gotta eat, man. You gotta eat. Can't blame anxiety for everything. If you got lack of energy and you feel like you might fall asleep all the time, you're probably not eating anything. And I think it was you who told me that you eat like a hot dog a day or something. You gotta step it up, dude. That is not anxiety's fault, man. That is not anxiety's fault. If you're going around all day long with an extreme lack of energy, not that these things can't be anxiety symptoms, they can be, but in your case, if you're going around with all this lack of energy, feel like you might fall asleep all the time, yada, 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 but you're eating a hot dog a day, well, dude, come on, man. Give me a break. Gotta eat, my man. You gotta eat. You gotta eat something. What is food? Food is energy, man. You don't give your body any energy. You can't say anxiety. Why do you make me feel like I'm sleepy all the time? Well, I wonder, Craig. You're not eating anything, dude. If you don't start eating, Craig, I'm gonna come down there and make you eat my damn self. You gotta start eating, dude. You gotta start taking care of yourself. You gotta start taking care of yourself. We talked about this, Craig. We talked about this, man. Come on. I care about you too much to let you sit there and not eat anything and then blame anxiety for it. No, dude, you gotta eat. You gotta start eating. Even if it's just like one big meal a day or something, you know. I know that lack of appetite comes with being anxious. I understand that completely, but you got to understand that your body does need fuel, dude. It does need energy. So I'm not saying you have to stuff yourself like a pig, but at least start trying to eat a little something. Just at least like one big meal a day or something. But ideally, we need to take a couple meals a day. But and they don't have to be like huge or anything, but you do need some energy in that body. It's no wonder you feel like falling asleep all the time. did that mistake. Ate like a fruit snack a day and felt weak and tired. Yeah. I mean, I did too. Don't get me wrong. When I was at my worst, I did the same thing. I wasn't eating either. I did the same shit. About to get our first cold front. It's 70 here today. Yeah, it's 70 today. It feels great. It feels really, really good. Not too hot. Feels just right. How much is 70? I don't know what 70 like is in like Celsius, but 70 is pretty warm. What is the boiling temp for water in Fahrenheit? I don't know. I actually don't know the answer to that one. And what's the freezing? I don't know. Good questions, Matt. You like the background? Yeah, we had to change it up a little bit because we had the other one from like the end of September. Or not even the end of September. I think we had the other one like in the halfway through September we changed to the Halloween theme. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know what the boiling point is. Unfortunately, Asen, that's one question I can't answer. I think we've talked about this before. It's one question I can't answer because if I tell someone, yeah, go do this, and then, you know, whatever happens, then I'm reliable. So unfortunately, I can't do that. I've got my opinions on it, acceptance, but you know, I can't. Hey, what's up, Travis? I'm still free of anxiety, people. Keep up the good work. That's awesome, dude. Keep it up, man. Yeah, I had no idea. I mean, you guys are teaching me stuff today. I had no idea about any of that, to be completely honest with you. Hey, I learn from you guys. I learn from you guys sometimes. Google told me. I mean, Google comes in handy sometimes. Google in general comes in handy sometimes. Not so much Dr. Google, but just regular old Google. Good stuff. Well, anytime you're like in a tired nervous system perp and you're getting these thoughts and feelings, of course you're going to feel different than what you would normally feel like, right? And the only reason it made you quote unquote relapse is because of what you did with it. So we can't point the finger at the thoughts and feelings, right? We can never point the finger at the thoughts and feelings. We have to point the finger at what we do with the thoughts and feelings. And they're definitely not comfortable and they're definitely not fun. But if you can keep the attitude of let it happen, right, then you're on the right track. Hey, what's up, Edward? How you doing, dude? Can't Google right now. Don't want to leave the stream. Understandable. Which, I mean, that happens all the time. You're like, damn, if I wouldn't have got this thought today that triggered me, I'd be okay. And it's like, no, we can't do that. Not with real recovery. We cannot say, damn, if it wasn't for this thought popping up and triggering me, I'd be okay. We cannot go down that route. We go down that route, and we're in trouble, right? So instead, when these thoughts come and they do trigger you, it's got to be an attitude of, okay, all right, I know what to do with this. I know what to do with this. I know what to do about this, right? That's the attitude. We absolutely cannot go down the route of, damn, was having such a good day, got this thought, triggered me, this is horrible, blah, blah, blah. We cannot go down that route. We cannot. Instead, it needs to be, okay, I got this thought, I'm triggered, awesome, I know what to do. I know what to do, which is nothing. Live, remind myself when I start to worry about it, and it is what it is, let it happen, let it unfold naturally, right? That's not exactly going to be a comfortable thing, right? Because you're triggered, obviously, but you know what to do, we need to do it. Instead of saying, oh, if it wasn't for that thought and me being triggered, this would have been a good day, and we can't go down that route. That's full of resistance, full of worry, full of gas. So hey, you're learning, perp. You're learning, dude. I know it feels a lot like a back and forth. I get it, but you're learning. You're learning. You're learning. And to be fair, you've probably made more progress than you realize, just from what you have learned. It's super easy to focus on how much more you think you have to do rather than focus on how far you've come. But from the outside looking in, I can tell you that you've probably made more progress than you believe. Well, if you think about it, someone said, is it different from ignoring them or kind of the same? If you think about it, terms are just terms, right? And everybody kind of has different meanings in their own minds to what a term means. So to somebody, the word ignore could mean fight against, try to push away, try to change it. And to another person, ignore could mean accept. So, terms get confusing. And that's why I don't use a whole lot of terms for that reason. I would rather just tell you, okay, when you've got these thoughts and you've got these feelings, as long as you're not adding anything to them, which means fight, argue, so forth and so on, as long as you're just reminding yourself it is what it is, then you're good. You're not fueling anything. You're not adding any second fear. Just keep living your life. The two main keys right there. You're good. And the reason I put it that way is because, like I said, everybody like assigns different meanings to different terms. Coming for the crown. Oh, also, I forgot to mention. Hold on. Hold on. The whole reason, let's switch back over here. The whole reason I wore this on the stream today, which now we're like, what, 45 minutes into this thing. The whole reason I wore this on the stream today was to give a special thank you to the person who sent it to me. I didn't ask them if they wanted their name mentioned on stream, so I'm not going to mention their name. Like I said, I didn't ask them. But I was sent this. Somebody got me this off of my Amazon wish list, this Adidas tracksuit. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you. You know who you are. You know who you are. I would say your name. I don't know if you're cool with that, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. I can't believe I forgot about that. It's the whole reason I wore that. It's actually very comfy. Wonder, bro, you drinking a cola? Maybe. 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 But yeah, I just got this today in the mail. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. I got suddenly tired and a bit of headache at therapist's appointment today. I realized I was thirsty because I had very salty lunch. So instead of panicking, oh my god, what if I faint? I don't like this. I accept and decide on the action. I'll ask for water towards the end because it's not that bad, no worrying. There's very different from a few months ago. I'm proud of myself for that little thing. You should be. So you're slowly starting to make the transition from way overly obsessed about every feeling and thought. You're starting to slowly make that transition from that to acceptance. So you should be proud of that. Well, the point of today's stream, Cassie, was that even if you're really focused on your thoughts or feelings or situation or whatever, that's not necessarily a problem as long as you're not adding second fear. So the advice will be the same even for your situation. The advice doesn't change. If it's anxiety, guys. It doesn't matter what your specific little triggers are or phobias. The advice doesn't change, right? It doesn't change. It doesn't change. So keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't think, oh God, my situation's so much worse. It's so much different. No, the advice doesn't change. It never changes. And that's the good thing about it. It doesn't change based on your situation. Anxiety is anxiety. And what are the two main keys? Because that's what you need to focus on. Hey, you can change that at any time, perp. At any time. $54 left for the tip call. Sanchez wants to take us to 69, but I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. 45-day streak is absolutely insane, though. Yeah, so you can be focused on the fact that you're having a ton of thoughts, ton of feelings about your situation, whatever the case may be, Cassie, but as long as you're not fueling that with all the second fear, what is second fear? Worry, right? You're good. Two main keys: live life, stop fighting with it all. symptoms, intrusive thoughts. An intrusive thought is the result of a tired amygdala. All of these things will start to fade as you practice, as you heal, Arnold. I love the kitty cat. Well, everybody has thoughts, Arnold. Everybody has thoughts. You can heal your nerves and still have intrusive thoughts, and usually they're the last to go. So you can physically heal your nerves and still have intrusive thoughts, but the less you entertain them, the more they'll start to fade. Yeah, so that's a common thing. People are like, "Well, I've healed. I physically feel like I've healed, but I'm still having thoughts." Well, that's usually how it goes. I wouldn't say that maybe I wasn't. I wouldn't say you wasn't. I would say that, it's common to physically heal your nervous system, and the thoughts can be one of the last things to fade away completely. Usually the frequency will die down, but in order for them to fade away completely, you continue the practice, even if you're not physically as triggered as you used to be. So I don't know. I wouldn't say that you wasn't healed. I would say that it takes time for these things to fade away completely. I think you've made a lot more progress than you think you have, honestly. Speaking of kitty cat, I've done several egg carton games today with Pixie, trying to end the game on a good note every time. Not with her running away in fear, but doesn't always go as planned. It probably won't at first, right? Probably won't at first. She'll habituate eventually. Eventually. Good song, eh? Did you say you just finished cleaning your floor? Is that what you said earlier? haven't done today, chat? We haven't posted the Discord link. You're another one, A, who I feel like has made more progress than you give yourself credit for. You're another one who falls into that category. Are you aware of how far you've come? Because you've come quite a ways. Always got company here, man. I think he's still waiting for me to adopt him. I don't know. I don't know, man. He plays hooky. I'd make him go to school. He wouldn't like me. What is my rank in the Discord? How to not dive into the content of the thought. Fixing content led me to this mess. There was no other problem except to worry over false anxiety. So you already know the answer to that, right? You already know the answer to that. You know what I'm going to tell you. How to not dive into the content of the thought, which basically means, like you said there, fixing content, right? So how to not dive into the content. How to not dive into the content? Keep your ground. Hold your ground. When the thought's there and you're being triggered, it is what it is. That's the reminder you need to give yourself instead of trying to fix the content, which is not just what's led you to this mess. It's what leads everybody to this mess. That is what we call second fear. That's just a fancy way of putting second fear, what you just said. How's school going for you, eh? So yeah, it's not about trying to escape from any sort of story. It's about not creating it to begin with. So you get a thought, regardless of the content of that thought, we don't create the story. right? It's very tempting. It's very tempting, don't get me wrong, to want to create that story, but that is the rabbit hole that we refer to. And that rabbit hole gets pretty messy. So it's very tempting to do that rather than just to have the thought and have the feeling and not investigate, but that is your job as you live life. That is your job with the practice. Some of the most tempting shit in the world, I understand, but if you can hold off from that temptation and remain firm with the it is what it is instead of getting in there with it, right? Instead of getting in there with it and adding to it, if you can remain firm with that, you'll see how these things start to lose their grip. You got to prove that to yourself. You got to get that experience, but you will see that. It might not take, as long as you think it will. It might take longer than you think it will. I don't know. When these thoughts and feelings are there and you're triggered and you're not getting involved with the thoughts and feelings, you're sticking to what you know to be true. It is what it is while you live your life, right? Instead of trying to do the investigation. Um, Eventually, you will see this start to wear off. Eventually, you will see that grip start to lessen. That will happen for you if you stick with it. Exactly. Hey, you got it. It takes time. It takes time, and it's not, the funnest process in the world, but it's worth it in the end. I know that shit's tempting, dude. You can have anything IRL, but if you keep solving all that mental crap up there, then you will surely be very miserable. You will, because you're not actually solving it. You're just keeping your nerves tired. That's the thing. You're just doing the hamster wheel. So, you might think you're doing yourself a favor. You're not actually solving anything. You're just keeping yourself miserable. And that's like ultimately the grand realization. Hey, the only reason I'm trying to solve this shit is because I want relief, but it's keeping me from getting relief. If I stop trying to solve it, it'll stop trying to pretend to need to be solved, and it'll eventually just leave me alone, right? So you're going at it because you want relief. I get that. That's a mistake everybody makes. But you're actually just fueling the fire. If you want true relief, you got to stick with it. It is what it is. Avoid the temptation of wanting to get involved, figure it out, argue, debate, persuade, fight with, all this other stuff that's just fueling it. You stick with that long enough, you'll see how it naturally just leaves you alone. So there was never any need for an investigation to begin with, but we don't know that until somebody points it out to us, and then we got to put in the practice, which is two keys right there. Stop fighting with it all. Live your life. You start to do this, and it'll start to make more sense because you'll get that experience. Getting that experience under your belt is helpful, very helpful to get that first-hand experience with it. Example, you get a thought and it triggers you, makes you feel a certain way, and you're able to hold off from fighting with it long enough, and you'll see that it starts to die down. Once you start to get this experience, you'll be like, okay, it makes sense. It makes sense. I don't know, man, I can't shake off these certain symptoms. So, why would you say that? Why are you saying I can't shake off these certain symptoms? We've never asked you to shake off anything, right? We've never asked you to shake off anything. Stop trying to shake it off, right? So let's adjust a little bit. Let's adjust a little bit. We don't want you to shake anything off. We want you to embrace the way you feel, embrace the thoughts that you have, and the only reminder you should be giving yourself is something along the lines of it is what it is, right? So we want the resistance to take a back seat so we're not stuck in the worry cycle, and then we want life to be lived. That's the two main keys right there. Yeah, if only, eh? Right? We could teach the world. It sounds like a fucking whack job. Sounds like a fucking whack job, dude. Sounds like a fucking whack job. Jesus Christ. It absolutely blows my fucking mind, the people that will put in... You know what? Never mind. Just whatever. But yeah, fucking whack job. Keep doing what you're doing. Ultimately, the choice is yours, right? Ultimately, the choice is yours. But my opinion, you keep doing what you're doing. You'll see. You'll see. You're gonna be just fine. That's my opinion. Will we hit 69 today, dude? I don't think we're gonna hit tip goal today, much less 69. I don't know, dude. We're past the hour mark, so it won't be long now. I think 45 is gonna be our max here. Holy shit. I think it's happening, chat. We have to let it go at some points. We have to accept it and let it go at some point, chat. You feed the fire, pushes you into the rabbit hole. Well, you go down the rabbit hole, and that's kind of feeding the fire, right? So you see what I'm getting at. The thoughts are there, the feelings are there, but the moment you mentally start blah, 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 yes, you're going down the rabbit hole, and that is going to feed the fire. So your only response should be something along the lines of it is what it is. Otherwise, you're going to investigate way too deeply, and you are going to feed the fire. Yes, absolutely. I literally started laughing. Get the fuck out. There you go. That's the response. That's what we're looking for. Yeah, fear tactics aren't cool. Not only are they completely false, and lack any sort of evidence, but it's a dick move. Well, there's varying degrees of sensitization, Nico. Just because you're not full-blown sensitized anymore doesn't mean you have completely healed nerves or an amygdala that's completely healed, right? So you might be saying, well, I'm not in that deep sensitized state anymore, so why am I? Well, there's different varying degrees of sensitization. Like, you might not be completely full-blown bedridden sensitized, but you could still have an amygdala that's misfiring. That still needs more retraining, right? Just because you're not full-blown 100% sensitized anymore doesn't mean you don't have an amygdala to work on, right? Mint, thank you so much, Mint. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, Mint. That witch laugh gets me every time. It gets me every time. It's probably not that loud to you guys, but it's a nice little jump scare for me. Thank you so much, Mint. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't know who the guy is, right? I don't know who you see or anything like that, obviously. But none of that sounds very, it all sounds very stupid to me. For some reason, you know, and I don't know why this is, but for some reason, people tend to give, a lot of people, not everybody, but people tend to give way too much credit to people, just because they have this or have that, and they're like, oh, they tell me that I need this, that must be 100% correct. So they give a lot of credit, and now they're taking things they don't need to take. But I don't want to dive too deep with that. You know, that's up to you. That's personal choice. But you know, that's just my opinion on it. You gotta, you know, gotta be able to think for yourself sometimes. Yeah, it's funny how that works, Maddie. Like, I don't hear the music at the same volume that you guys hear it, so I have to base it off my slides. But yeah. Kay, thank you, Kay. Kay with the $25 Cash App. Thank you so much, Kay. That takes us to 46. Maybe we will move on. I don't know. I was ready to accept it. I was ready to accept it, but maybe we will move on. It's got to end at some point. Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, Mint. Maddie. Two Toes. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you. Style Alert, thank you so much. Style Alert with the $5 tip says I'm finally living life and feeling like my old self again, if not better. If not better. I love it. I love to hear. So, what's that put us at? 51. 51. Thank you guys so much. Okay, we don't have to accept it. We're moving on. We're moving on to a 46-day streak. I honestly thought today was the day that we restart the streak, but thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you, thank you. You do not have to feel obligated to do that. 46-day streak, absolutely insane. Guys, proving me wrong again. You really don't have to feel obligated to do that, but that is absolutely insane. 46 days. 46 days. Wow. For a second there, I was like, okay, yeah, this is it. This is where it ends, and that's okay. That's fine. But no, we are moving on. We are moving on to a 46-day streak. Thank you, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. That's insane. All right, we're going to hit 50. I have a feeling. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you. Hey, I just read your comment from earlier, Mint, about the sawdust. You're absolutely making the changes that we need you to make. Like, I don't know what else to say about that. You are making the changes that we need you to make. You are going about this the right way. Keep it up. You are on fire, bro. What's up, Pooty? Welcome, dude. It's good to see you, man. Yeah, these afternoon streams have been really, really good. I feel like the past 2 or 3 have been excellent. Today's been a good stream. I don't know. This is like, I think I'm starting to find the time that we should do these streams. I've been all over the place with the stream times, so. Wanna change. Hey, I am proud of you, Mint, though. Seriously, seriously. This is not the same Mint that I knew even a month ago. So, very proud. Keep practicing, beautiful people. My new funny thoughts is like, you will never recover. I'm like, I hope I don't. So just doing the opposite, basically. Just taking the paradoxical approach and saying, hey, whatever thought's coming is what it is, right? And Pooty, you're having your good days, dude, where you say you're so excited and happy you just want to scream. And that's awesome. Those are going to keep mounting. Those are going to keep building. You just got to stay on the right track. So you should absolutely be proud of yourself. Give yourself a huge pat on the back. You got it. Sanchez. Sanchez, you had to do it. You had to do it. You couldn't help yourself. He couldn't help himself, chat. He couldn't help himself. He just couldn't resist. We had to go to 69 today. We had to go to 69 today. Very mature of you. So I love you, dude. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you, Sanchez. Style Alert, K, Instamint, Two Toes, Maddie. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. Sanchez couldn't help himself. He just couldn't do it. It's like, you know, he's there and he's like, ugh. He's doing the math. He's doing the math. He's like, how much more we got to go until 69? Okay, 18. He checks his bank. He's like, you know what? We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing this shit. So here we are. Here we are at 69 again today. I think that's what we had yesterday. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Sanchez, You actually kill me. I appreciate you, dude. It's so funny. Every day I feel better and better, and those thoughts, scary ones, don't do jack shit anymore. Wonder Bro is amazing practice, guys. Thank you so much for that, Pooty. I appreciate it. And like I said, anytime you come in here and spread that hope and positivity to the rest of the community, really means a lot to me. And I do appreciate you taking the time to do that, because I'm sure it helps other people too. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Keep it up, dude. Keep it up. It makes all of this worth it. Makes doing all of this worth it to see comments like that, right? There's no better feeling in the world when I have people come back in here and say, hey, I feel so good. I'm living life again. Who was it that said just a second ago, I'm finally living life and feeling like my old self again, if not better? Focus on the end there, chat. If not better. There is no better feeling in the world to know that, right? And anybody who's not quite there yet, just keep it up and you will be there. Just stopped by to say hello, about to go back to work. Enjoy it, dude. Have a good day, Pooty. Keep it up, man. There's so much healing going on here, chat. There's so much healing. Every stream, not to toot my own horn, okay? Not to toot my own horn. But every stream, we've at least got a handful of people that pop in and say, hey, I'm doing so good. I'm doing so much better. I'm enjoying life again. And it just feels so good. Wasn't it Max yesterday? I think it was Max yesterday came in and said he got his life back. He's feeling so good. He doesn't even stop by anymore because he's just too busy enjoying life. I mean, that shit, oh, it just feels so good. We got so much healing going on in this community. We really do. And it's the best feeling in the world. Best feeling in the world. And not to toot my own horn or anything, but I feel like we have way more healing going on here than anybody else can say. But whatever. Not to brag. Not to fucking brag. Not to fucking brag. Top streak number? Are you asking us like this is the highest streak we've ever had? Absolutely. Absolutely. 46 days. We've never, yeah, we've never gotten this high of a streak ever. This is like, I think before this, when we first started the streak system, I think we had to start it over at like around 15 days one time. We had to start it back over from 0. We didn't hit it. But now here we are at 46. So our old record was 15, and now we're at 46. So what does that tell you? It's just, it's amazing. 69. Seriously? Yes, absolutely serious. This is not a joke. It's not a joke. Can you add one in a corner? What do you mean, like like our top? Is that what you're talking about? I do whatever I want now. Stuck in a house just weeks ago. Feels awesome. I did what Wonder Bros said. That's it. That's awesome. Travis, keep it up, dude. Keep it up, man. Hey, Travis is another good example of somebody who's made excellent progress back to living life and healed. Oh, I don't know, Arnold. I'm just fucking around. I'm just being a jokester, Arnold, okay? I'm just being a jokester, man. Don't be so serious. Don't be so serious, Arnold. Oh, okay, so keep like a high score so one day when it breaks, we'll know what the high score is. Gotcha. Alright. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that when that day comes. All I know is, all I know is, the shit just works. If you use it, it works. What else can I say? We've got enough proof of that by now. So hopefully it's motivating everyone else to continue to stay on board, jump on board, and get at it. Maddie, to be fair, Maddie, you are the last person I would expect to be so enthused over Sanchez's antics to want to drive the tip goal to 69, but you seem very happy about it. So, hey, hey. My boss offered me to work at the toy section at the store. This is a dream come true. That's awesome, dude. But she wants me to add more hours, and I'm not okay with that. Well, I can't tell you whether or not you should work more hours. I mean, that's going to be up to you. But if you decide to, I mean, money's money. Money's money. I know you're sneaky watching others live when you stop streaming. Dude, no offense, Arnold, but I do this enough to where I do not have any interest in watching any sort of anxiety material after I'm done with what I do. Like, I do need breaks from it. Like, no offense. No offense, but after I do my streams and my coaching, and the last thing I want to do in the world is watch any sort of anxiety content. Hey, did you read my message on the tip? Let me see. Oh, okay, you better be nice today. Alright, I'll try. I'll try, Maddie, I'll try. Maddie's still living and thriving. Maddie is our Discord secretary, always and forever. She thought I made that change as a temporary joke, but it's not going anywhere. Yeah, ultimately it's going to be up to you, man. Ultimately it's going to be up to you what you do about that offer. You make the best decision. Don't let anxiety have an input on it, but you make the best decision outside of that. When will you do that life advice stream just to know? You really want that, don't you? Here's the thing, guys. I would absolutely love, more than anything in the entire world, to do streams on other topics. You guys don't know how much I would enjoy that. I would seriously enjoy so much to be able to every now and then, not all the time, just every now and then, because I understand our main focus is anxiety. I get it, not a problem. But I would love to be able to do streams on other topics that I find interesting, right? Here's the problem with that. We don't get growth from that. We don't. We really don't. Nobody watches those. If I started a stream tomorrow that said some sort of life advice that had nothing to do with anxiety, really, right? I can guarantee we would not break 6 viewers, 7 viewers, right? And unfortunately, when you look at growing the YouTube channel from that standpoint, we're not going to grow. We wouldn't grow. In fact, we'd probably lose subscribers. And since this is what I do, right? I can't afford to go backwards. I got to move forward. And people don't want to hear me talk about anything other than anxiety, really. So, and I get that. I understand that completely. That's what the channel's about. That's not a problem. That's what people are here for. I completely understand that. But that's the thing. That's the thing about it. As much as I'd like to do it, talk about other topics and stuff, it would hurt the channel. It would not grow the channel. It would hurt the channel. Nobody would watch it. Nobody would care. So, but maybe as we maybe as we grow, like in the future, when we've got more subscribers and stuff, there will be a bigger audience for other topics, right? But as it stands right now, other topics would not bring any views. And no views, I'm probably going to lose subscribers. If I lose subscribers, we're going backwards. We're not going forwards. So that's just kind of the way the game is played. It kind of reminds me of how I used to do funny videos on the channel. Like I had a whole playlist for little comedy sketches that I used to do, and I thought they were funny, and the people who watched them thought they were funny. But the problem was nobody was really watching them, so it was like people were unsubscribing because they were seeing like videos that weren't anxiety related in their feed, right? And they were like, well, if this guy's not going to talk about anxiety, then I'm out. So they would leave. And it hurt the channel in the long run, so I gotta be very careful about what I talk about. No, I get what you're saying, Arnold. Absolutely. Now we could focus on other topics like we do. We do that during like the hangout portion of the stream, like we are now. So yeah, we could do that one day. We could probably do that. I'll try to do that for you, right? See, that's okay. It's funny you mentioned that, Kay. The TikTok. See, now I can do that stuff on TikTok. So if you want to follow me on TikTok, you should, because over on TikTok, I am able to make my funny comedy sketches, which I really enjoy doing. I am able to talk about just more general life advice. I am able to do that stuff on TikTok because I don't care about the TikTok. I'll be honest. I don't care if I don't have a ton of followers on TikTok. I just started it like a month ago. So it doesn't bother me. I upload whatever I want to on TikTok, and it feels really nice to be able to do that. That's why I love it. So you want to follow me over there, you should, Vacate Fear. But here on the main channel, I've got to stay very focused on the main topic, or else it starts to hurt the channel, and I lose viewers, and I lose subscribers, and we start moving backwards. So I can't do whatever I want on the main channel. That's just not how the algorithm works. If I want to grow this channel, I've got to stay focused. However, the TikTok is more of like a free-for-all. I can do whatever the fuck I want because I don't care about the TikTok enough to try to grow it. I'm focused on the channel, not the TikTok. So, TikTok, full of a bunch of random shit. If you want to follow me over there, you should do that. Gotta go cough with my family in front of the TV now. Good night. Good night, Mint. Congrats on all the progress you're making. It's awesome. But don't get me wrong, like I completely understand where people are coming from. You know, for example, if I go out and I subscribe, I take the time to subscribe to a channel that's about video games or whatever. You know, I want to subscribe to a channel that's about video games, and then 2 weeks later, this video game channel starts uploading videos about fucking crocheting, right? Then I'm probably gonna unsubscribe. So I get it. I understand it. You know. It's nothing to be mad about. Like, it makes sense. Toss the stream a like, guys, if you enjoyed it. Make sure you do that. It only takes a second. It really does matter. Please do that. Please. I'm begging. I'm begging for your likes. Thank you, guys. I do appreciate all the support. Maddie says, hey, I'm crocheting. I do have a lot more creative freedom on the TikTok though, so if you want to follow me over there. I might make one today. I might make a TikTok today. You guys got it on my mind now. Maybe I'll do that. Why did that just fall off the wall? Oh, oh boy, we've got a not a TikTok, what the fuck? We've got a fucking thumbnail on the floor now somewhere. Or, not a fucking thumbnail, what am I thinking? A fucking tack. There we go, Jesus Christ. Fucking brain farts. Hang that back up. There we go. Don't fall, bud. Stay where you are this time. Alright, lovely people. We are an hour and a half into this. Man, our streams have been long here recently. I've been enjoying them, been hanging out with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We are going to go ahead and end this one, though. Let's go ahead and get our song ready. Let's go ahead and get our song ready. Where is it at? Alright, there we go. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I love you. Gonna go ahead and get out of here. I might just make a TikTok today, so go follow me over there, Vacate Fear. And until next time, guys, thank you for moving us on to a 46-day streak. Absolutely insane. Don't know what else to say about that besides thank you. I'm sure I'll see you very, very soon. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. And until next time, as always, stay awesome. Danny, just want to pop in and say I'm doing really good, even in the midst of a very stressful life of it. I'm still feeling good. Thanks to you, Danny. That is awesome. Congrats. Keep it up. I'll see you guys very soon.
I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Yeah. Did it die? Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Whatever you want, I'll be whatever you want. Just tell me you love me or not, whatever it costs. I know I'm talking a lot, there's something I gotta get off. Don't wanna be this no more, I don't wanna drink no more. Always gotta do the most, thinking that I'm insecure. Really should've listened more, but I don't, of course. I'm an asshole, I'm a good guy, I'm your best friend, I'm the worst type. Tell you everything that you heard right, just so I can fuck on the first night. Feel like I'm losing hope, running from coast to coast. I don't know where to go, this all I've ever known. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. think I'm perfect, I know I'm not. My mama be worried, I told her stop. They know I did drugs and think that I'm off. Little do they know I never could stop. My manager hate when I'm pulling up late. Back on my bullshit, she think it's a phase. I got relations I gotta maintain. I'm two different people, my side and my main. Yeah, I'm sober, I'm an addict, I'm a low life, I got habits, but I refuse to be average. Really so tired of acting, don't know what I miss no more. Too bad you don't hit me more. I'm bad when I get too bored, careful what you wishing for. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire.